This DB3 Media Vodcast looks at the digipak format. You should use this video guide together with the wide range of digipak material on the vids blog. I'll use a small range of samples to highlight some of the common features seen in digipaks. I'll also refer to the assessment criteria. I'll look at some student examples, and I'll draw upon a few YouTube videos along the way. First of all, you need to define the terms. So, what is a digipak? That's simple enough, and you can easily find details and explanatory videos on suppliers' websites. Locally, wewow.com would be an example of this, but here's a short excerpt from a US supplier.
So the disc fits in, and then once printed, it closes up, and then is shrink wrapped. So you see the front and you see the back, and that's a 6-panel digipak.
Okay, so it's a card-based, typically slimline packaging, more eco-friendly and more flexible than the plastic jewel case. 4 panels plus spine is the default, but 6, 8, 10 or more panels are quite common, and they open up all sorts of design possibilities. You'll find a wide variety of fan vids, some gushing over their latest acquisition, while some just want to diss the digipak.
So the reason I really love about this edition is that this disc is not, I haven't seen on any other of the Fame Monster editions. The words Lady Gaga and Fame Monster is the CD texture. You can see that, right? It's not actually printed on like the other Fame Monster editions.
Another thing I hate about Digipaks is this. See this? Look at that. Look at how thin that is. I mean, really? Like, if I'm gonna pay, like, you know, $10. By the way, this is an amazing CD, Decibel Omega's Drought. If I'm gonna pay $10, you know, I want more than, you know, 2 pieces of cardboard. And that's really all it is. 2 pieces of cardboard.
The bottom line is that the digipak is often used for limited editions with extra features, increasingly needed to get fans to pay for physical media in the age of downloads and streaming. So, what do we expect to see? Well, there are exceptions to everything, and Metallica's so-called Black Album, Prince's Black Album, and one version of Spinal Tap's Smell the Glove all play with the most basic of conventions, showing or not the artist logo on the front, but we do expect to see the artist logo as the most prominent text on the front panel. You will often be able to find downloadable TrueType fonts to replicate this, rather than clumsily using a scanned image. Here's another minimalist but monster-selling example, AC/DC's Back in Black. If you take inspiration from anything you see, but don't know how to achieve this, try a YouTube search for a Photoshop tutorial on the effect. You can also find some examples of this on my vids blog. The second thing to look for is obviously the album title, and this should usually be the second most prominent text item, although not always. Usually it's also in a different font. There are exceptions, as I say, such as this Beatles example. Think carefully about the assessment criteria here, not least overall layout and font variation. Well, of course, these are intended to encourage good design decisions. Thirdly, we have DVD or bonus details. Easily overlooked, but basically utterly vital. You've got to push the point home that this is a special edition, not just a vanilla album, and that there is a bonus DVD. You are producing a package of CD plus DVD. A front panel sticker is very common. This will indicate DVD content, but might also denote new tracks, new versions, particularly on a compilation or an anniversary edition album. This 2014 IGS student example went the extra mile with this, and they actually invented lyrics for their new tracks. Fourth, we have the track listing. Leading on from the DVD bonus details, we usually have a numbered track listing plus DVD details on the rear external panel, sometimes replicated with further small print on the inner panels. and perhaps also the lyric booklet as well. Again, think carefully about font size, layout, and maybe reduce opacity boxes or color sections. Fifth, we have the link between external panels. There's almost always a direct link between the front and rear panels, and this Ramstein example is quite typical. Sixth, we have a theme or flow through the inner panels. The outer panel theme is sometimes continued inside, although just as often there is a contrast in design or theme. The AC/DC example applies the colour scheme. The Beatles example carries the colour scheme and the psychedelic theme throughout, and is a good example of using patterns and abstracted imagery, not just photographic material. The Joy Division team of 2011 did this very well, and here's a short clip of student Johnny Hughes explaining how they achieved this.
We wanted to include different aspects of the video in the artwork as well, so that's what I was basically doing there. Next thing I did was I added some lyrics here, so you can just on it. I'll just make them a little bit brighter for you. They're just basically Disorders lyrics, which I thought again links to that, and I just faded them out and rubbed parts of them out and put them in the bottom corner there.
Seventh, we have the small print. These screenshots from my MusicVids blog simply contain the small print from one Sinead O'Connor release, which should give you a good indication of just how much potentially you can and maybe should be using. It does need careful attention. A good tip here would be to use details, tweaked accordingly, from a past album release by your artist. If you neglect this, or just rush through it, you will be breaking the verisimilitude that you're after, and you will lose out on marks for use of language and register. The small print is not just on the rear external panel, but possibly also in your front bonus feature sticker, the spine, the inner panels, and the lyrics booklet. Eighth, we have logos, URLs, and social media. Logos include record label and distribution company, possibly the retailer, if you're saying this is, for example, an Amazon or Play exclusive. Play.com, I know, quite commonly do have exclusive digipack releases. There's also technical logos, particularly the DVD logo. There's a lot to look for. Avoid clumsily pasting on logos with a colour block around it. Check the spine too. There will usually be some logos on there. Social media logos and shortened URLs are increasingly common too, but be clear on who or what they point to. The artist, fan club, record label, merchandise outlet. Ninth, the spine. I'll let it speak for itself. Just take care over the small details, not least an appropriate catalogue number, and get the text facing the right way around as well. 10th, editions, extras, lyric booklet. We see more and more examples of tiered packages, especially for Kickstarter funded releases, which can incorporate additional vinyl, extra CDs, media books, t-shirts, posters, etc. etc. Oh, and signed items as well. At the very least, you should include a lyrics booklet, which will help secure top marks. Some designs are justifiably minimalist, such as this Joy Division package, so any extras help evidence manipulating photographs and also using IT and other criteria as well. You will need to discuss how your three text formats work as an overall promotional package. But that shouldn't mean you simply plonk in video screenshots. Try taking camera shots without filming, and pose fresh images in other settings, including against single colour backgrounds for fast cropping, for your digipack and ads. Also play around and experiment with Photoshop FX. Ask yourself if your work would look impressive if blown up the poster size. These would, and well, so should yours.
Uh-huh. Thank you. Thank you very much. You've been watching a DB3 production.